Hi, my name's Sue Penn, and I'm here in Des Moines, Iowa, and I'm going to show you my new line called Up, Up, and Away. It's full of hot air balloons, it's full of bright colors, it uses the whole spectrum. I just love hot air balloons. They are so absolutely gorgeous. This is the signature piece for the line. I actually created it last because I thought we needed a big panel print. And the line just needed something. So I'm going to show you the panel, but first I want to tell you this painting is 36 by 60, I believe. But I decided that wasn't a big enough panel. We needed a bigger one. So I had it scanned in and I blew it up a little bit more so you get a 2-yard by 44-inch panel. There are so many things you can do with it. You can even wrap a canvas with it and hang my artwork on your wall. The next print features hot air balloons in a landscape with bright, bright sky. This is the painting it came from. You can see I use lots of papers in my paintings. This also uses lots of papers. I forgot to mention that I print my own papers and I collage them on my canvases and add decorative, not stitching because that's in quilting, but decorative line work and shading. You can see here that I outline in black and then in gold on my papers. I also created my own stencil so I could do a shadow effect with the hot air balloons floating through the sky with some light gold metallic paint. You won't see that in your fabric, but just know it's light gold metallic. Alright, so the next pattern is the same hot air balloons on a blue sky. This one is perfect for borders. We needed a tone-on-tone that matched the sky, and so what I did was I painted this landscape. I didn't have the hot air balloons on it yet, so I had it scanned in. I dropped out the landscape, the land actually, and then turned this background into this fabric. Okay, so this painting I had a blast with. I used stencil after stencil and layer after layer. You've got medallions and all kinds of different dots. You've got little butterflies. You've got, I'm gonna drop the painting. But anyway, there's just so much going on. Little flowers, lines of dots. And so I scanned in this painting and put it into repeat, and this is the fabric that you get. Can you imagine this fabric turned into a one-block wonder? It would be fabulous. Besides hot air balloons, I also love birds. These birds are created with papers again. I took my scraps, glued them down on a bigger sheet of paper, and then cut all my birds in circles out and collaged them on the painting. I also worked in repeat on this. A lot of times I'm just painting and I don't think about fabric, but this one I specifically wanted a bird fabric that's in repeat. So if you see this tail meets with the rest of the bird up here, so it was much easier to work with than trying to create a painting and then add more birds in to do the repeat. So that's the painting. And this is the fabric. My next painting I call Paper Flowers because of course the flowers are made out of paper, but I love the lime green, I love the bright colors. I had fun putting the little dots and the shading on this. And then I actually, for the fabric, put it into repeat and made it a little bit smaller for a nice tight all over. I've always had a thing for color stories and color chips. So I decided to paint some color chips each color, the blue, green, red, and yellow. I started with light in the corner and worked to dark in the center. So after scanning it in, I reduce the size to brighten the colors, and you get a really fun pattern to work with. A check, a plaid, kind of combination of both. Okay, so we needed a stripe, and I got out my palette knife and just started layer after layer, color after color, the whole spectrum, the whole rainbow of colors, and there's so much detail in it. And the great thing about the fabric is that detail is shown in the fabric too. Looks just like my paintings with my brush stroke, my palette knife strokes. So this line also coordinates with a brand new line I'm coming out with called Textures, which are tone on tones. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But this will go with this line, these textures will. They will also go with all of my other lines if you still have fabric from my earlier lines. This sales board is full of projects. There are literally 8 different projects you can make. Some of them are free on the website. Some of them are patterns you can purchase to sell in your shop to promote the line. I did 2 quilt tops, and they're both free patterns. All right, let's make sure I get it right side up. But this one features the running yardage, which is in the painting to my right over here. Continuous running yardage. You just cut it apart and put sashing between it, so it has kind of that window pane effect. Okay, so this quilt top is huge, but it features the panel, the 2-yard panel. It also features hot air balloon blocks. You could take this pattern and just do all hot air balloon blocks, or make the quilt even bigger by adding more borders and adding more blocks on either side, or on the top and the bottom. All right, well, thanks for listening. Thanks for taking a look at my new line, Up, Up, and Away.